Hi, I wanted to do this little video for you. I'm giving you little tiny teasers until my big announcement coming up very soon. This is not it just yet because what I want you to see is some bits and pieces that are related to it so that you can kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this. Now you can guess what it's going to be and you may be close, but I'm not going to quite give it to you right at this moment. But what I want to do is just show you a couple of things that I think you'll probably be able to figure it out, but let me just kind of show you what's happening. Now, you guys have seen this. This is a song that one of my subscribers sent to me to use as a case study, and I'm going to be using this and several others that have been submitted to me so that I can show you a couple of things. Okay, so let me point this out now. Now, for example, if somebody asked me, just sent this to me and said, Khaliq, okay, go ahead and mix this for me. Okay, the first thing I do is I look at the session, I open it up, and then I just kind of look and see, well, what do I have? I look at the names here. I got the names down here. We talked about this naming convention before. So you see, we got the numbers and all that. That would be one of the first things I'd straighten out. Okay. Then I look up here at the waveforms. I look at the kick drum, the snare drum rim. We got stereo drums here, finger bass, slap bass, etc. So one of the things that I notice here is look at this kick drum. It's very low. I mean, this waveform is very low. So I would probably look and see if there's a reason for that, if it's the nature of the sound that is just a real super soft sound, and if I may need to re-record that or optimize it with some kind of processing or something. Okay, here's the snare rim. This looks kind of low, but because it's a snare rim, you don't want that thing taking your head off anyway, so this may be okay. Now I see a little thing in here, and I don't know what that is. That could just be noise, or something unneeded or leakage or something like that. I don't know, but I just kind of see it. That's some kind of break going on there. So I'll have to investigate that. It comes here and it comes later on in the song. We got stereo drums here, and you look at this as left and right, and they look a little different. They're kind of close. I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see that particular track. But look at the waveform, the left and right waveform. So I'd look at that. Okay, and some of these other things. Then down here, farther down, is where we get into the vocals. Okay, and I mentioned this once before. Is that when looking at this vocal here? Okay, we got two vocal tracks. One says it has this notation gain on here. So that tells me that this vocal's been processed. This one says lead fix. Okay, so this may be the final comp vocal, fixed vocal is what I'm assuming. But then I'm assuming that this up here may be the same vocal with gain added to it to boost the volume. And when I kind of look at the waveform, and let me move this out the way here. When I kind of look at the waveform, you see as we go on, I mean, it starts out kind of low, got a little peak here, and it's bigger here. Okay, the whole overall waveform is bigger. We go across here, the whole waveform is bigger, gets really big and crunchy right in this area. So I don't know, obviously it was treated. I don't know if that's the best treatment. So the thing that I would do is check both of them out. If they're the exact same vocal, I will listen to the original and see if this treatment up here was better, made it better, or made it worse. Or it could have been, if it could have been done better. Okay, and then I look at this stuffed disc brass. That's kind of a low waveform, so you look at that. So I'd look at some things like that. Okay, now just looking through here, so some of these waveforms are not optimized, obviously, so I definitely look at it. We go up closer here and we see this one looks kind of low. Okay, let's go to the mixer page, and I'm going to move this back down here for a second. And on this mixer page, okay, basically everything's pretty much at zero, and There's no real panning. Everything looks like it's at the default, so that's okay. Now, one of the first things, and I mentioned that in the Grammy thing, is when you've got, certain things, effects and things like that that you definitely want to have. If you definitely need to have a certain sound, you need to print it with that sound, because look here, these things are grayed out. So that means that even though I actually do have this plugin. So I think if I click this and yeah, if I click it and hit it, now it comes on because I do have that plugin. I don't know why it didn't just come up and recognize it. Maybe this is an older version of the plugin. But now this is Waves Max Bass. I have Waves, but I just upgraded my system, my Pro Tools system, and half of my plugins that I had, and I have pretty much every plugin under the sun, but now half of them don't work since I upgraded. So I've got to spend lots more money to get back, right to where I was just from doing an upgrade, which is, I'm not too happy about that, but that's what time it is now, so I just have to deal with it. Okay, so taking a look at all this, okay, we see this little ad lib track is pushed up pretty good, 8 dB. You see right there, 8.3. So that means that track may need to be optimized because it's being pushed up pretty loud just to be heard, obviously, But because this isn't mixed, it may not be a big deal. But then look over here. We're going to go over here all the way over to the master fader, and the master fader is pulled down 8 dB, 8.9 dB. Okay, so just think about it. If this master fader was optimized at 0 where it needs to be, and everything else was brought down in perspective, this thing that's being pushed up 8.3 dB could probably actually live at 0 and be perfect. So that lets you know that you have to optimize your levels and everything. But if this was sent to me and somebody said, Khaliq, please mix this for me, just get it together, that's some of the first things I would look at.